What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 524th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm back. I'm your host, Steve. With me is Greg.
I'm back, but I didn't leave. But I will leave soon, because I'm not going to be here next week, and you're going to have to survive without my wit and charm. My clever insights.
I'll skip that episode.
Will also here.
I realized this morning as I was driving around Lake Nokomis that I stan Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, yeah.
You come for her, you come for me.
Yeah. Okay. Olivia Newton-John's first album was very country, which is how I first knew Olivia Newton-John.
Yet she is Australian.
Correct, which is just wild. So I was a big fan of Please Mr. Please. And then when Physical hit, it was like a seismic event in her career.
True.
I love Physical. I still love the fact that my husband, bless his little soul, got into arguments at school that Physical was only about exercising and nothing else.
What an innocent young man.
What an innocent child he was.
We got some news this week. I played a lot of Unite as well. Not that that's really that different. It's like the same game. They just add new characters that do like slightly different stuff.
I'm gonna argue with you there. Emblems have changed the game immensely.
I think they're bad.
Emblems have made Cramorant a nightmare to deal with.
I think the emblems are bad. Well, I guess let's start with news. Unite has added emblems.
We talked about this last week.
I think the easiest way I can sum that up to somebody who maybe doesn't play Unite. Okay, here's the thing. One, emblems brings no new players to Unite. I don't think anyone's like, man, I want this to be more complicated.
No,
I stopped playing because it was too simple. Please throw some garbage in here to like. I don't think it's bringing anyone back. I think it does further the gap between people who just want to play for fun and then the serious people. I think that
Yes.
gap widens. The easiest way I can explain it is it's the same as nature's. An attack is getting, or a stat is getting increased and another stat is getting decreased. It's another thing to collect and then to like customize, and
Yeah.
I would always usually be in the fence, on the side of the fence of I could be on a fence, that's true.
That was
You're on
a
a
scrambled
fence,
egg
yes.
of a metaphor.
Yeah. You're on a fence.
I
and
guess
the
I would
fence
always
is
be
white.
on the side of the fence that would be like more customization stuff is better. But I still don't really see I don't see the draw here, besides like we're min-maxing our characters and everyone's going to run pretty similar. Like even in the sense of before you even get to the emblems, there's usually of the tree, there's a meta play, and sometimes that changes. Like for a long time for Cramorant, it was Whirlpool Surf, or it's not, sorry, a Hurricane Surf, and now it's Dive Air Slash. And maybe there's one person out there running Hurricane Dive. I doubt that, but maybe somebody out there's doing that. But like, I don't know. The emblems don't really, they're not scratching any itches for me. But Greg,
they're scratching an itch for me. Here's the thing. There's the meta build, and emblems are still new. And what I like about emblems is emblems actually give players a chance to create the play that they want, and emblems, you can't spend money on them. You just have to play the game to get them.
Mm-hmm.
So what I like about it is that you cannot, like right now, emblems are real rough, and I'm not going to say that they're not real rough. Like there's little reason not to run black for move reduction. Like,
unless you don't have any black,
and they're hard to get
40 times.
Yeah, they're hard to get. But what I do think in the future, what it will do is allow people who, like two people who play Eldegoss, like right now I am not running HP up Eldegoss. I am running special attack Eldegoss, so that when people come to me, I'm actually able to kill them rather quickly, and they're surprised by that. I think it gives, for people who are really looking at the more competitive side of the game, a way to differentiate a bunch of characters that already feel very samey. So it adds a level of unknown that they can expand on. Like, it is not a perfect system by any means right now. Like, there's very little reason not to either run HP up or move reduction. Like, the other ones are just so bad in comparison that there's no reason. But I do think as we get through this initial stage and they sort of see the power of it, that it will be a great way to have a bunch of Pokemon, even though they're different, that play very similarly, to feel very different when you are playing the meta of the game. And emblems don't stop casual either, right? Like, you can completely ignore it and play standard and be fine. You can completely ignore it and get up through a lot of ranked. It's just that the upper levels of rank, you're going to run into a problem, and it's a problem that can't be solved by money.
Couldn't you? No, you can't buy like the whatever it's called. You could, I guess, you could buy the accelerators.
You could buy the accelerators, but then it's still random what you get. You can't pick. You're still going to get a random selection of things, so you can accelerate that process.
Yeah, I mean, I ran no emblems at all for 10, 12 hours of the game, and I was like, everything still feels fine. And then I was like, I'm going to take the emblems I have, because I keep getting oddish over and over, and then build something. And I was like, this feels zero, like I don't feel any difference. And maybe it's because like I don't have a big enough variety, or I don't have golds or silvers, or
I mean, the biggest problem is that you don't have enough black. Like, nobody does.
I have like 2 black. I
finally got up. I got
up
to 4, and I do notice it a little bit. But you can tell people who somehow have managed to get all 7. It is just wild what they can do. And I do think it needs to be tweaked, right? Like, they do need to figure out how to make the other aspects better. And I don't know yet what that looks like, but I do like the fact that it allows a way to customize more to your playstyle than the items ever did.
Yeah, I just like, I would rather them not have an emblem system and just like fix the other things in their game. Like, there are characters that are still bad. There are move sets on character, like the character might be good, but then it's like this path that you had, like this tree that's splitting off, this branch is completely broken. No one's ever going to use it. Everyone's going to go this side.
I mean, they just did a big rework of a bunch of them with this patch, so a bunch of things got changed, and I think this gives them more dials to fix that.
What, that like if people jam a bunch of emblems in it, then the character is suddenly better?
Well, I mean, I think that gives them more things to dial to make characters unique and for different things. I think it's less about balance at this point and finding, because a lot of the characters feel samey, finding ways to make them stand out in different ways. And I think emblems allow them to do that.
Yeah, I will say, like, the emblems didn't ruin my enjoyment of the game. I'm just like, they're here and I don't have enough to do anything optimal.
Right.
And I played 12 hours in the last 3 days, and I still don't have enough, right? Like, I can't play.
Are they going to keep you at a master rank?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. I think the thing that keeps you out of master rank are just the people that just decide to AFK after 2 minutes of the match.
Yep.
That's like what's keeping me out of, like, it was weird too, Greg, because I was playing between like this sweet spot of 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. and I was like, holy cow, everyone I'm playing with is great. Yeah, everyone is doing exactly what they need. And all of a sudden, like 5 a.m. came around, and it was nothing but AFKers.
Nightmare
like every
fuel.
single match, people. And I was like, "What time slot? Who is awake? Right? What am I playing
Dinner
with German
time
people?"
in Japan.
Yeah. Have you noticed the change in the reporting system?
I reported 3 people for AFK. One like went through right away and said -10, and then the other 2 went like for review. And they did short AFK. They would AFK for like a full minute and then start moving and then like AFK again because they were definitely done with the match.
Yeah,
but
have you gotten the follow-up emails yet?
uh-uh.
So I've reported a bunch of people for idling, and some said confirming, some went through and said correct. And then like 2 days later, I got an email saying, "Thank you for reporting them. We verified that they were idling. We have raised your battle points by X amount to compensate for your poor experience." And that seems to be the new norm. Like if you find somebody who's idling, you report it. They reward you for that and adjust that match for you, saying, "Yeah, you were limited, so we are going to fix your battle points for that change." And this happened to be 3 times now for the reports that I've done, which to me is like, yeah, I still want to report them because I also block them because I'm never going to play with you again. But it's nice to get sort of a confirmation saying it was an unfair thing that happened to you. We've adjusted where you're at accordingly. Thank you for playing and trying to make our game better. And I appreciate that.
Also, what's up with Boss Rush? They like promoted Boss Rush, and like it was like what 48 hours, and I like log in, they're like Boss Rush is over. Like
it's coming on a rotation, so it's on the same rotation as the Ketchum one, where you go through and catch the legendaries, and then you can become them for a while. So it swapped out. So Boss Rush was like 5 days. And Ketchum was for like 5 days, and then I forget what the next one is, and then it'll come back. So it's part of the rotation to just keep those things going through as quick battles to let people play those. But I thought Boss Rush was the only thing that affected your squad level, and it's not. So if you're part of a squad and you do anything in the game, you get squad points that gives your squad rewards, which is really cool.
What's a squad?
So a squad is
like a clan,
in-game clan or in-game free company.
A long time ago, actually.
Yeah,
just no one used it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Well, now there's a Slack one that I'm a part of, so I get them extra points for being MVP of support, which you always know you had a bad game if the MPV was the support character.
Person, yeah.
Yep.
I bought the Unite membership.
I cannot believe you did that. It is so not good.
It's bad.
It's bad, and I've said it's bad. The only thing is if you play every day, you can get the gems for it, but everything else is bad.
I mean, this is why Steve gets Twitch and Patreon money, so that he can pay for bad decisions.
Correct.
Okay, so full disclosure, the Pokemon Company reached out to me. It was actually Nintendo. Nintendo reached out to me, and they said, "We want to give you a $20 gift card for Unite, and we want to give you a gift card for Pokemon Center." And the concept was like, because you customize your character so much in Unite, this is not true. I've bought one $20 outfit day one of the game, and I've worn that since because it was $20.
Give it to me. I customize all the time. I'm in the fancy boy outfit right now. I'm looking so good.
But I ordered my Pokemon Center stuff, and then I was like, you know what? I'll use my $20 Unite gift card, and I will buy what is it, $9.99? I think $10.
Yeah, $10.
$10 battle pass. And you do okay. So right now it shows like a Venusaur skin. It's like Venusaur in a sailor outfit. You do get that permanently forever. Although I wonder, like, what if you don't have Venusaur kind of thing? Like,
you still get them. I have skins for a lot of things that I don't have as a character.
Yeah, but like, if you don't have Venusaur, that part of the membership's useless to you, right?
Yeah.
You get. So I'll go through what it is. So it's $10 a month. You get 2 HoloWare license trials a week. They don't tell you they kind of I guess they kind of like they show like a picture of like right now it's like Scorbunny and I think Sylveon maybe.
Yeah, which is wild because they're giving Sylveon away for free.
Yeah, so you don't get to pick.
Right.
You get 2 trials a week. You do not get to pick what they are. You get a special Hollowware. That was the Venusaur. You don't get to pick that, but you get to see what it is. You get the new chat bubbles, which I guess is like the only way
in a chat that nobody uses.
Right. Well, I mean, when you're picking a lane, if it shows that you're the premium person, right? Like, because it'll say like, I'm picking top lane. You get 40 gems free every day. And so when we originally talked about this, we said that you have to log in like 20 of the 30 days in order for that to like pay for itself or something like.
Yeah, something like that.
I could have the days wrong, but if you logged in every day, you would get more gems than just buying $10 worth of gems. And it is set up where you have to log in to get it. It's not if you like miss 3 days, you get to collect 3 40s. It's you have to log in every day. And then the last thing is you also get 10% off trainer fashion. Not to be confused with Pokemon fashion. You don't get any savings off Pokemon fashion. You get 10% off trainers fashion. And since I've bought this pass, there has been no new trainer fashion to even buy. Honestly, when I logged in and it said, you haven't logged in like 42 days, I was like, let's see what they added to the store. Literally nothing. What? Okay, so what am I?
Yeah.
Gotta buy more socks. Get all the socks. 10% off all socks. Do you already have all the socks?
No, so you can only save the 10% off the trainer fashion within the 7 days new things are added to the store. So since nothing has been added, there is nothing to even buy to save on. Now, there are new Pokemon skins that have been added. There's a really great Azumarill punk rock skin. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's so good.
But it's only off trainer fashion, not Pokemon fashion.
And trainer fashion is only visible on the screen for a hot second. And because the loading screen is still so bad, you can't even click on portraits in time to see other people's cards.
But, I mean, you can see your friends' cards.
Yeah, you can see your friends.
Yeah. It's a bad... Like, this is what I don't understand why the like rented you also it didn't say in the list. I was like, you also get 2 fashion rentals a week for your trainer, but you don't get to pick that either. It's like these are the rented fashions that you're going to be able to get. I think to make this battle pass a little bit better, and what I don't understand is if you're getting like a rental a week, I don't need 2 random you choose rentals a week. Just give me one. I can rent anything for the week, and then once that week's over, let me rent something else. Because like I wanted to try Azumarill, and I am the type of toxic player that I want to play a new character in ranked right away without ever testing it. Right, like practice is for suckers. Let me just grab
that's
my
not
character.
Toxic. That's just somebody who's playing to have fun.
Which is toxic.
I only want to play ranked. I don't want to play casual. I don't want to play practice. Just get me in. I know I'm not the problem. But like when I could rent Scorbunny, I could rent Gengar, I could rent Zarina. I don't want to rent any of those characters. I have zero interest in playing Gengar. I had no way to rent Azumarill. And it's like as a member now, as a $10 a month membership buyer, my choices are Gengar, Zarina, and Cinderace. This is useless to me. You would think that as a membership person or as somebody who's willing to give you money, that you would be like, hey, try out this character. You're the type of sucker that would also then buy the character after you go like, oh, I like it. Especially in a situation where you're like, you added a cool outfit, and the outfit convinced me to play the character, and now I have no way to play the character without just buying it. But I could rent Gengar, but I don't want to rent Gengar. It's very the membership's not worth it.
This is what we said before. The stance of this program has not changed. You just decided to be a fool. You didn't even listen to our own advice. The person in this group that plays the most Unite told you not to do it. You're like, I'm going to do it.
I mean, it's not like the money came out of his own pocket. So
I mean, true. So
Nintendo
no big
did pay
loss.
for it.
This is pure science for the sake of science.
Yeah, sometimes when you buy something, you're like, oh, I didn't know. When you go to like McDonald's and you're like, let me get a number 5, and they're like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know this came with the number 5. Oh, this one comes with 2 slices of cheese? Well, that's surprise and delight, Greg.
Yeah, kind of like me at your birthday lunch where I ordered a salad and she said, do you want fries with that? And I was like, do you realize I just ordered a salad?
That was the wildest part of that conversation. I mean, I appreciate that you want to give me fries with my salad, I guess.
I was hoping that the Unite membership had some surprise and delight. There was no surprises. There was no delight.
I feel like I'm talking to air sometimes.
Unite is good, though. It's fine.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I'm having a good time. Climbing the ladder is as frustrating as it always is. But I feel like they've taken a lot of steps to help mitigate my frustrations with a few things. And also, Jetsy and I rule bottom lane. So if you ever want to play with it, just let Jetsy and I be in bottom lane together. I don't care what the rest of you do. But we're going to rock
climbing the ladder is frustrating in a sense of playing. I think it's just so they ask for so much, and they want you to win 4 to move from they flipped it. It used to be like 5 is the highest now,
which is just why everybody's panicking. They're like, how did I jump to Ultra 5 and I've fallen to Ultra 1? I'm like, no, they flipped it.
Yeah. So, if you wanted to go from, Veteran 4 to Veteran 3, because the lower numbers, it's golf now, you have to win 4 without losing 1. And when you lose, there's that protection. But when you lose, it's minus 150 or whatever. This huge number. And then you're on a win streak of 5, and it's here's a bonus 10 points for being on a win streak of 5. And you're like, I won 5 in a row, and your bonus is 10. It's just the grind.
The grind is
on
bad.
The ladder just feels so punishing for what you're doing. I ended up playing on my birthday. I ended up playing 6 hours in a row, and I won almost every match besides the 3 that had AFKers.
Yep.
And I just felt like I made no progress. I was like, I played for 6 hours, and I climbed from Veteran 5 to Veteran 1, and I was like, that's all I've accomplished?
It's just like Mount Everest.
Veteran
harder
5
to get to the top than to fall to the bottom.
Is a huge jump.
Yeah. It's a lot of matches. It's a lot of time. It was 6 hours. And I like I said, I really only lost three matches, and they weren't even because it was just 4 versus 5 matches
which
we
is
lost.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm very close to getting the Cramorant anniversary skin, however.
Oh, that's a grind too. Jeez. They want you to do a lot for that.
Yeah, it's 3,900 cake frostings.
Yeah, I look, even after the last 20 minutes we've been talking about Unite, I do think it's a genuinely fun game. I think it's great. I think that I want to see them do more stuff that brings people back. And when I look at the emblem stuff, I'm just like, this isn't bringing anyone back. This is just catering to your very, maybe they're very small and maybe the small amount of extremely competitive people who play this game every day appreciate it. But I would like to see more players.
I think
bridge that gap into wanting to play more often.
Everything else they did with the first anniversary is the thing they did to bring players back. This was the thing they just gave to their competitive community. Like they were not forward leading very hard with the emblems outside of, hey, you can collect them. Here's something fun to collect instead of getting the same outfit 15 times for energy rewards.
I mean, if they added more outfits, I could use my membership more.
I know.
I could save that 10%.
They need more outfits.
I could save that 10%. How? Here's the other thing I don't understand. How is the menu? Okay, the menus are bad, but how are they so laggy?
I don't know why their menus are so laggy.
I've played so many games in the last 30 some years, and usually the menus are the fast thing.
Switch hardware is 7 years old now?
There's no way it's dependent just on the Switch. Like,
I believe it could be.
The game runs super smooth once you're in it.
Yeah, matches run great. I know of the things that I want to be laggy, gameplay is always great. I do not care about my menus.
I just don't understand why when I click the store, I feel like I'm underwater for a hot second.
Because you're impatient. You're a game gobbler.
It's very jarring. Hey, speaking of underwater, this is from our Attic channel. Tone dropped this in here. This is off Poke Jungle. A 4-foot Intellion plush is coming. It says that it should be priced around $120. Pre-orders will start in Japan. The ship date is January 2023. No U.S. date, of course. It is posable.
Yep.
Oh, that means it's got wires inside.
The two pictures that Poke Jungle picked make me laugh every time I look at them on Twitter. One is Inteleon literally lounging in a chair, which is hilarious. And the other is Inteleon standing next to Jesus, basically.
As Inteleon should.
As Inteleon should.
There must be like this is what I imagine. I hope I'm correct. There must be just like a room of like 4 people that are like, which Pokemon would we like to be oversized and sell for hundreds of dollars? Which one is next? We did the Mareep.
I mean, there's a committee, absolutely. There's always a committee.
I've been lonely in the morning while I get my cup of coffee. It would be nice to have an Inteleon watching me pour my creamer into...
It just posts its thumb up every day. It'd be your daily affirmation. You wake up and Inteleon's in the corner. Thumbs up. Good day.
Yeah, that's a thing. $120 seems very cheap though compared to
It's real thin.
It's thin. There's not a lot in there.
It's not a thick boy.
That Mareep was $490. It was $500 for that Mareep. You get a PS5. Well, if you could find a PS5, you could get a PS5 for the price of that Mareep.
But the Mareep will last longer. And the Mareep is backwards compatible.
All the way back to Gen 2.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Well, let's take a break. We have some trading card news, some Sword and Shield news, and some Pokemon Go stuff. So we will be right back. And we are back from our break. Let's do Pokemon Go stuff. I guess this is the part of the episode where I say that I was flown out and hotel paid for, put an asterisk there because it was supposed to be paid for, but I haven't been reimbursed yet.
You'll get reimbursed.
By Niantic. So I went out to Seattle. Look, here's the thing is I was going to go anyways. They offered to cover my flight and my hotel in return for helping do those raid tours, and we ran like a GoFest ad, I think like 2 episodes ago. And then they were like, we want you to talk about your experience afterwards. So this would be technically a paid part of the show where I talk about my experience. Although, again, I would have talked about it anyways. Because I don't think there's been an episode of the show where we're like, let's not talk about Pokemon Go.
Oh, there could be, though.
There could be.
I mean, I've got some angries to get out.
So with those disclaimers out there, I do want to thank everyone who came to the raid tours or came to the meet and greets or just said hi. I will say for me, who I did pay my own way to go out to Germany, and that felt like, gosh, that actually felt like I was just playing Pokemon Go, where this experience felt like I was working. Because, like, I needed to be specific places.
I mean, you were working. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why you say it felt like it. They made you work.
I was working in Germany, too. Like, I was streaming and, like, interacting.
Yeah, that was for your personal profit, not for the big pockets of Papa Go.
Papa John Hankey.
Papa Niantic.
Papa Niantic.
So they had me do 2 hours of meet and greets every day from 4 to 6, and they put it on a stage, and I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I am sure how they did meet and greets before, because when Will and I were in Chicago, and there was like the Trainer Tips, Zoe 2 Dots, Reversal, Mystic 7 meet and greet. It was 4 tents next to each other, and you picked which line you wanted to get into. It was very, very like Comic-Con or very C2E2 of like, walk down the aisle, which line do you want to wait in and then get in line, right? And in Germany, I wasn't part of the meet and greet experience, thank goodness, because I would have probably had one person waiting, because we don't have a very big German audience, but we do have some people in Germany. They had one big tent in Germany, and they had one person on each side of the tent. So it was you still got in line. It was just you were getting in line north, east, south, or west.
Wait, isn't Reversal European?
Reversal is, yes.
So were they featured?
He stopped playing Go over a year ago.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll do it.
In Seattle, they had 4 to 5 creators on a stage, and they had one line, which I think, to me, was inconvenient to those people getting in line. Because if somebody, let's say you have somebody like Zoe 2 Dots or Trainer Tips or Mystic 7, right? These are really, really, really big YouTubers. And the majority of those lines are for those people. And it's like, well, I just want to see Steve. I've never heard of that guy before, but I just want to see Steve. And it's like 30 people in front of me are here for Zoe, and she's taking 1 to 2 minutes with a person. And there's not, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't get the choice to pick a line. I have to get into one line, and the majority of this line is for somebody else, and now I'm kind of stuck here. We had people come up to me, and they were like, I negotiated with people in line saying I was only here to see you, so they let me skip. Like, that was happening in the line.
That's clever.
And that's not anyone's fault except Niantic's fault for setting it up that
way. That's a bad setup.
And I think it's bad for people who want to see you, one, because like they have a limited experience in the park. They have 4 hours in the park, 4 hours in the city, a 1 hour intermission, which I think, by the way, that was great. But if you're like, well, I want to see Steve and it's a 45-minute wait in the sun, you're probably going to be like, maybe not. Whereas if like the line is pretty short, there's only 4 or 5 people in line, you'd be like, oh yeah, this will be a nice 10-minute break. I think there's like not only is there a respecting your player's time, but there's also probably a psychology thing of like, line's too long, not too good to do it. Line's short, let me hop in real quick, kind of thing. But I will say to the people who did wait in line or did show up, here's the thing too. I told this to my Twitch chat. Certain creators have certain kinds of audiences. I think this is not for Pokemon Go. This is like for literally anything, like D&D, video games, whatever. This is for anything.
That's true.
And when Zoe was like a lot of kids, a lot of women, a lot of young girls. Like Zoe's great, she's fantastic, and but you could be like, oh, that person definitely looks like a Zoe 2 Dots fan, right? Like you'd be like, oh, I bet that person's waiting for Zoe. And then there was some other there was like the GoCast podcast, there was like Lord Up podcast, and I would say that like their fans, and this is not a dig or anything. I would say their fans look like the guys that would after community day like go get some drinks at a bar kind of guys.
Chads.
Yeah.
Is that what we're calling them?
I mean, that's what I call them.
Yeah, we can go with that, sure.
But and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Will and I go get barbecue.
Sometimes, true.
Sometimes. It has been known to happen on multiple occasions.
Yes, well, we enjoy a fine dining experience together.
We do.
Grumpy's closed.
I felt my audience was dudes coming up being like, here's my husband, and then the husband being like, my husband loves your show, he dragged me to this, it's nice to meet you, he's been like, I had a lot of like just a huge LGBT audience, a lot of
and your gay stars weren't even there. Your breakout gay artists
exactly
were at home manning
the gay originators,
salt mines. we originated gay, and we weren't even there.
It was, look, the short of it, it was very flattering. Everyone was really nice. We had a community meetup. We had like 32 people come for the community meetup. It was nice to see.
And you ditched people because you walked too fast.
It was nice to see people in the Slack or the Discord like meet each other. And that's like great for me too. Like finally putting faces to names and whatnot. Overall for GoFest, I do think the splitting the day in half was great, although poorly communicated, which is, some would say, Niantic's specialty, and probably could have been set up a little bit better. And so what I had firsthand was people said that they enjoyed the city experience more if they did a raid tour. And if somebody said, I didn't like the city experience, I asked them if they did the raid tour, and they said no. Almost every time. Probably like 99% of the time. And so I think the raid, so maybe I should explain raid tours. What Niantic did is you either had city in the morning or city in the afternoon, and that was 4 hours. And they took a bunch of content creators, and they paired 2 sets of content creators together, and then they did 2 raid tours in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon. One would be at the library, which is more downtownish in Seattle, and then one would be at like an art park, which is like closer to the actual GoFest. And so they ran from either 10:30 to 12:30, or they ran from like I think it was like 2:30 to 4:30. They ran for 2 hours. And the concept was whether you had a ticket or not, you would show up to a raid tour. The content creators would lead you around from raid to raid, and Niantic purposely put more raids in those areas. And then you would do a bunch of raids. If you had the ticket, you could still play a GoFest. You could still catch Pokemon. They would still have increased shiny odds. You would still get your bonuses. And then you would be around other people, right? You would have some sense of direction. And it was really cool because it did show you the city, right? Like when you started at the library, like that library is really historic. It's a really cool library. There's a lot of cool stuff around it. And then when you would walk around, you would see like downtown Seattle. And I think most of the raid tours over there led to the pier, where you would see the Ferris wheel and everything. But they did such a bad job like promoting and communicating these raid tours where like if your playtime was in the city, I'm sure there was plenty of people that had a good time, but you would just like kind of aimlessly walk around. And for those people, it probably felt more like a community day than GoFest. So I do hope they do that in the future, because I think when somebody spends so much money to fly out to GoFest and they have a great time in the however the 8 hours that is allotted for Go Fest, there's like that day before and that day after of like, what do I do now? And so they could participate in the raid tours and have something to do and meet people and have like some sense of direction, or like, I would have never came to this part of the city if it wasn't for this. So I think that stuff was great. I think the park experience was really good too. Although I did hear from people like Pokemon were disappearing and that didn't happen in the city, and it's like, that they're disappearing because you crossed an invisible line and you left the Electric Garden and you moved into like the Cloud Sanctuary, and because you specifically walked past this like piece of grass, you have now flipped the spawns, and that's so they still need to do that. That was something I complained about in Berlin. That still happened in the city. There was no invisible lines, right? Like things just spawned.
Yeah, whatever showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, you just kept walking. The Pokemon Center was absolutely insane. The line for that was probably an hour wait most days just to get plushes. The only like unique thing that they were carrying in stock was the GoFest shirt, and it's sold out by Saturday. So anyone who was playing on Sunday didn't even have a chance to get it. But I mean, like anything else in that store, you could have just got off Pokemon.com. They had, plushes, other shirts, pins, pillows, everything else was Pokemon Center. I guess you get the impulse buy of that. They had the Pikachu and Eevee stuff. They had a TCG area, which was actually really cool, where you could learn how to play the TCG, and they would give you like 4 free booster packs just waiting in line to like learn how to play, which is really cool. That was inside the armory. They had they had the trading post and the battle area. They had this in Germany too. I don't think I explained this in Germany, but at least what they did in Germany, I'm not 100%. I'm pretty sure it was the same for Seattle. What they did is you would wait in line to battle people, and then if you won your match, you would stay there, and they would bring another random person up. But if you won 3 matches in a row, you would win a free shirt. And then if you didn't win, you would just get like a code card for like some raspberries and like an incubator or whatever just for participating.
Could I win a free shirt on Sunday?
I don't think it was the GoFest shirt.
Boo.
They had a campfire booth. They had the Niantic booth. They had the campfire. I don't know what was happening over at Campfire, but if you showed them you had the Campfire app installed, they were handing out free water bottles. They were handing out popcorn. They were handing out like just showing they
trying to get that
installed.
rating up.
Yeah. That was the spaces, or sorry, the biomes, like the Electric Garden, the Dream Sanctuary, the Cloud, whatever. They were the Oasis. They were brilliantly designed, way better than Berlin. Probably some of their best spaces they've designed at a Go Fest, for sure. The park felt kind of small, but I think it felt small to me in comparison to like the Britzer Garden in Germany, which was like, what happened in Germany is I would be on one side of the park and I would be like, oh, a Darkrai raid spawned. Oh, I can't make it there in 30 minutes because it's going to take me 45 minutes to walk across this park, because that's how big that park was. Where this park I get to the other side of the park in less than 15 minutes kind of thing. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I did not hear it from a Niantic employee. I heard it from one of the green shirts, which are not Niantic employees. So it was just people talking. But they said that they sold 15,000 tickets in the morning and then another 15,000 tickets in the afternoon. So that's 30,000 tickets on Saturday, which was sold out.
That was good gossip, not
No,
numbers.
it's not sold out. It just sold out gossip. I don't think Niantic has published those numbers, but like, that's a pretty huge amount of people for Saturday, and the reason they were able to have so many people is because they forced half the people to go into the city. because there's no way they would have fit that many people into the park.
But you just said they sold 15,000 in the morning and 15,000 in the afternoon.
Right. So you're in the park only for 4 of those hours. So 15,000 people in the park in the morning, then in the afternoon they go into the city, and then a new 15,000 people
So
come
you're
in.
saying the park was big enough for 15,000 people?
Yes, but not for 30,000 people,
Okay.
which is technically the amount of tickets they would have sold, assuming that those numbers are correct based off the contract Niantic employee, not the... Because the Niantic employees would be wearing blue shirts, the, like, what are they called? Like, for high, like... contract
Rental
like the
people.
rental people are
what?
Just
you know how
temporary staff. The temporary staff.
Contractors?
Yeah, contractors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what this other what else you were all saying, because that was the wildest few seconds of my life.
I was leading him down a dark path is all I was doing.
How many of them had shirts that said use me for Wi-Fi?
Excuse me? So, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of people, for sure. I mean, the Saturday event sold out. The other complaint I had, and this is I get why they did it, but it sucks at the same time. Because there was a morning ticket and an afternoon ticket, you could not trade with the opposite ticket holder. So if I had technically afternoon in the park, because my raid tours were in the city in the morning, right? So when people came up to the meet and greet, they would be like, "Oh, we're lucky friends. Can we trade?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, of course." Like, perfect. I don't have to go to the trade area. Let's do it right now. And they would have morning in the park, and I had afternoon in the park, so it would lock the trade out.
Oh.
And the reason they did that is because they didn't want people to stay in the park when they were supposed to be in the city, which makes sense. But also, you're literally cutting your amount of trades in half. Like if there were 30,000 people I could have traded with, you're literally telling me I can only trade with 15,000. And let's hope that the person I needed to trade with bought the same ticket as me, because that wasn't communicated at all. Like, it really, like, that in itself was a bummer. And then I don't know if it's because I had like a special Niantic ticket, but I know for sure on Friday I only did 5 trades. And so I should have still had trades after the event ended, because you're supposed to get, like, Season of Go, you're supposed to get like 2 trades a day, because I think it was 6 trades in the park. Either way, I should have had at least 1 trade. And after the Go Fest ended, it was like, oh, you still can't trade. So that was like kind of a bummer, because it was like, oh, maybe after like the park is closed we can trade, and that it still didn't work. But on Sunday it worked, where I did my 2 special trades before Go Fest started, and then during Go Fest I had all my trades, but it was locked to like, oh, we have opposite tickets, can't trade at all. I guess I'll see you in 6 months or 8 months or whenever the next Go Fest is. So, so that was a bit of a bummer. But yeah, I had a great time. I thought it was worth it. I know there was. I know when I stream it on Twitch, people are like, "Man, I wish I could have a 3-day ticket." I ended up walking 30 miles that weekend, and I was very exhausted. I said this with Germany. I think a 3-day ticket kind of ruins the feel of that. And I think it's kind of similar to like the 2-day Eevee Community Day, where it didn't feel that special, because it was like, oh, well, whatever. We still have tomorrow to catch like our 70th shiny Eevee. Like, no big deal. But I think just the heat and the walking and the playing is just very, very exhausting. Although one of my mods, Steel, she said, like, I would like to have a 3-day pass, not to play 8 hours every day, but to like play a couple hours each day.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that does make sense. But that's where I think Niantic needs to fill in the gaps of like, here is your GoFest experience on your selected day, and here is something to do in the city on the days you're not playing. And I do feel like they have to somewhere. They're kind of getting there with like Darkrai and Cresselia were only in the Seattle area, and they did the raid tours. I think there needs to be a little bit more. Maybe like in that city there is like special, you know what they did in DC, Will, where like in DC you could like get specific research only in DC, and they were like Aerodactyls or Relicanths for the World Championship.
Sure.
You know,
I don't remember that. I remember getting the Relicanths. Yes.
Yeah. Remember there was the Suicune raid hour or whatever?
Yeah.
But
we
like
walked all around and did those.
The stops in DC were specific to get Relicanth or to get Aerodactyl. So I feel like if they did something like that, which encourages people to go out, spin stops, do that research, but it's only in Seattle or wherever they pick for the next GoFest. I think they need to kind of make this a weekend event, especially if somebody's spending $800 to fly across the United States to
when
play.
It's a destination event, yes.
Yeah. And I think they're getting there. I think like as much as Niantic does things wrong and makes people upset and very bad at communication, they are so good at live events. They are so good at like once you get there for GoFest, it's incredible. And it's just like everything, the wrapper around it is like terrible.
This is why I left acting. The live events were great. I hated the wrapper around it.
Yeah. Yeah, just like big thank you to like anyone who came up and said hi or did raid tours with us or took pictures, or there was like this younger girl and she brought me these little chonks. And
those things are so cute.
They were absolutely adorable. And she was great, and her dad was great. Yeah, there was just like there was a lot that happened that it was totally worth it, whether Niantic paid for me or not. It was, but I will say, like, because somebody asked me, they were like, was it better or worse than Germany? And I was like, they were so different experiences. Like being in a huge park for 8 hours versus being in a smaller park and then being forced in the city. Being forced sounds like it was bad. Like I did enjoy the city experience a lot. Just very, very different vibes. And I do absolutely love the hour break. I think the hour break is something I wish happened in Germany. Because again, you do still have that like fear of like, oh, I should be catching or I should be doing these raids. I think like forcing people to be like, delete some Pokemon, do a couple trades. Granted, you have the right ticket as everyone else to do the trades. Like, get something to eat. Maybe like change your shoes. Like that hour break is really, really great. And I know like somebody's like, well, you could just make the hour break yourself. I think Niantic being in charge of that and saying like promoting like our game is active, be healthy. Also, we want you outside in the sun for 8 hours. Like I think Niantic needs to be in charge of it, because I think at the end of the day they are responsible for curating an experience. And I think by telling your audience go eat something and relax makes the next 4 hours just a better experience for everyone. Because when I was in Chicago with Will, we got lunch because we were hungry, and other people with us did not get lunch because they cared about shinies more, and they were not fun to talk to in the next 4 hours because they did not eat. And that was not a great experience for me or Will, because like, we're trying to enjoy the rest of our day. Also, last thing. It was wild to see. I did have a lot of younger people come up, and it was wild to see that they would only be like, "I only caught 2 shinies today. I only caught 3 shinies today," and they were still like they were over the moon excited. Like one kid I talked to, I was like, "You get any shinies today?" He was like, "Just one." I was like, "Oh, cool. What'd you get?" He was like, "Darkrai. I love him. Favorite, like my new favorite Pokemon." It was very like humbling to see. Like it was almost like jarring to be like somebody come up and they were like, "I only got 13 shinies. I don't think this was worth the $25." And then you get like a kid being like, "I got one shinies. This was my favorite day ever."
The weight of the world has not yet crushed that child. Give it time. All that it takes for that child to turn into that other person is time and an understanding of how money works.
They were having a great time, though.
Like, I enjoyed a lot of things when I didn't have to pay for it.
Very true.
Yeah. Hopefully Niantic does more live events, and they end up being as good for the game. Hey, speaking of Pokemon Go, there's a community ambassador program that is launching, which it says, this is off PokemonGoLive.com. What does a community ambassador do? It is somebody who voluntarily runs their events in the local community with the gratitude and assistance of Niantic. Niantic recognizes how much passion and hard work it takes to bring people together. This program is built to help leaders do that. They're looking for diversity, professionalism, positivity, safety, integrity. What do you receive for being part of the Community Ambassador Program? You will get special incentives like codes, swag to share with communities on community days and other events. You will be able to provide direct feedback to Niantic, one-on-one opportunities to learn more about us. How do I become a Community Ambassador? They use the Sylph Road level and ranking system. I don't actually know what that is. I know Sylph Road has something to make a player profile, and I know there's like they have their own meetups. Somebody asked me if I had a Sylph Road profile at my meetup. I was like, no, I ain't got that. Yeah, so this reminds me a lot of like the Professor program for Play Pokemon. The Professor program, you have to take like this impossible quiz where it's like,
well, clearly not impossible because many people pass it, but yeah, it's a difficult quiz.
If Luxray level X has 18 damage counters on it and is versing Charizard with the Prime with the Pokebody Flame synergy, what card? It's like that's like the. It's like one of those, like, if two trains leave at the same time, it's like... This, on the other hand, yeah, so if you're part of the Professor program, that like the Pokemon Company would send you like posters and pins and cards that you're supposed to give out at like Play Pokemon events or what are they called? Like leagues.
Weekly
like
league.
Like a local league. So this seems very similar in the sense of... that for Pokemon Go. They still do that thing at Victory Memorial Park, right, Greg? It's like a group of people that like set up a tent.
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't gone to Victory Memorial Park. And like ever since I found the art park, which is a better experience for me, I've not gone back to Victory Memorial.
Victory Memorial has no shade. It's literally 3 hours directly in the sun.
It's too hot, so I don't do it anymore. I go to my wonderful park, and it's closer, and I know that there is a restaurant inside where I can get lovely drinks and some cookies.
And you can take a forest bath.
Yep, and I can take a forest bath.
What does that mean?
You've been there. You've seen the forest bath.
I did?
Yes. You can't take your phone in. You just bathe in the forest.
Yeah.
They took the boats away.
Oh, big news. There is that whole area is blocked off with a big sign saying, "Do not approach sculpture under construction."
Oh,
so
dear.
Something's going back.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Hey, Zigzagoon Community Day is coming up. Galarian Zigzagoon, to be fair.
I'm going to need your help.
On Saturday, August 13th from 11 to 2. What are the bonuses? We got 3 times the catch Stardust, 2 times for catching Pokemon, 2 times for catching, 2 times chance for trainers level 31 and above to receive XL candy, 3-hour lure modules, 3-hour incense, snapshot surprises, 1 additional special trade for a maximum of 3. Trades will last 5 hours, will be 50% less Stardust. The bonus this time will be if enough trainers catch Pokemon near a single lure module, 3 times the Stardust bonus for catching will be increased to 4 times the amount for 30 minutes. This bonus will not stack with the base 3 times Stardust. This is actually kind of a nerf. So I don't know if you guys heard the drama here. So the drama was instead of the 4 times bonus Stardust, it was supposed to be spawning Galarian Linoon instead, which would have been similar to Zweilous spawning for Dino.
Sure.
And then people complained that Zweilous was nerfing the Dino spawns because you would see Zweilous, not Dino. Now you're like, but what? This sounds better. What's the problem? Well, Linoon would give you way more Stardust than Zigzagoon, and because you're already getting a 3 times Stardust bonus, you would, by catching Linoon, you would get way more Stardust than 4 times Stardust on Zigzagoon. So that's where like the nerf comes in.
Let's just get a straw and suck all the joy out of playing games. We have to take everything and turn it into a math problem, or else you're not doing it right.
Well, as I would prefer the Stardust over my 17th shiny Zigzagoon personally. Like,
I'm getting none. I don't want any of it.
You don't want any Stardust? I love Stardust.
What do I use it for?
You got to power up Pokemon?
For
what?
You got trades? I spent 1 million Stardust trading Tone.
I have asked you for some specific trades, and you have shot me down every time.
No, you only want
they're right
trades...
behind the ring light.
Yeah.
You only want the trades from me that bring me the opposite of joy, sorrow.
Yeah, that is my joy, hurting you. So you take that away from me. So what am I spending the Stardust on?
You want a Snorlax with a hat?
I want a shiny Snorlax with a hat.
Is it shiny?
I got shiny Snorlaxes with hats.
All right. I'm in. I'll give you a Rosalia.
I don't need it. I gave you a Rosalia.
See, you look at my gifts and you turn them down.
I didn't say what I wanted. I like to give. I do like to give.
Oh, we're gonna bring that to the committee, I think. Get out an official Olympic ruling.
Here, we're looking at how much Stardust I have. That's in my items, right?
Yeah. No, it's just you just click any Pokemon.
Oh, I gotta click on a Pokemon.
Yeah.
All right, and
I guarantee I have less.
10,160,010.
10 million?
Yes,
it's pretty good.
There's my shiny Wurmple. I have 2,500,000.
You've been trading too much. You're not hoarding your Stardust.
Look, I don't play this game that much. I forget I have those Stardust increaser thingies.
Star Piece.
Whatever.
I could be wrong. I don't remember Pokemon Go Live.com. So you know how they have like the select cities? We talk about it like once a month. They're like, here's where they now have a tab that says popular parks, which I think is new.
No, it's been there for a while.
Oh, I don't think I've seen it. So you can, like, if you're in the Twin Cities area, you can see that there is no in-person activations or virtual activations, but you could see like, oh, popular parks.
Yeah, that's been there for a while.
Oh,
What
okay.
are the popular parks of the Twin Cities area?
We got Como.
Been there?
We got the Trout Brook Nature Sanctuary. You know where that is?
Nope.
Yep.
It's near Como. We got Silverwood Park.
Hey,
That's where we go.
We got Victory Memorial Regional Park. We got Clifton E. French Regional Park. Do you know where that is? It's above Medicine Lake, which is also a popular park, apparently.
Madison Lake is one of the many places I lived as a child.
We got Centennial Lakes. I really like Centennial Lakes, honestly.
I do
think
too.
that
I
place is
rode
great.
my bike through there yesterday.
Yeah, that place is pretty great. Down in Burnsville, we got the Public Courtyard. In Prior Lake, we got Lakefront Park. That's kind of all of them. We got Rice Park.
I mean, that's more than I was expecting. So,
We got Dunning Sports Complex.
how is Mall of America not a popular park?
Not a park.
I think it's the word park. It's missing.
It's an amusement park.
That's true. It is an amusement park. If we go out to Stillwater, we can go to North Lowell Park.
I want to go to Stillwater.
Please, I accidentally ended up in Hopkins yesterday, and I was like, how do I get out of here as fast as possible?
If we go up to Duluth, we can go to the Canal Park.
Ooh, Canal Park is great. We could take a day trip to Duluth. Their aquarium is amazing.
I don't. If Community Day was at like 2 to 5, I would say yes. I don't want to get up any earlier than 11 though. They're already pushing it.
It's as if the 6-hour flexibility would have once worked in our favor. It no longer does. Huh?
No, because he still would have been like, I have to be there right at the start.
No. When it was the 6 hours, I would start at noon, and I would usually go till 4. I would play about. I would play about 4
drive
hours.
up to Duluth, and you can just sleep in the car.
I really have trouble sleeping in the car.
You see, well, I'm a problem solver, and he is
I'm
a
aware.
problem denier.
I'm aware.
The 3-hour Community Day, it sucks. It's not great.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think 3 hours of playtime is good.
Yep.
I just for when it was 6, I didn't feel rushed in the morning.
Correct. If it was 6, I could go next Saturday.
You're driving down to Gen Con that day, right?
No, he'll be
No,
at Gen Con.
You'll be Gen Con.
So next weekend I'll be at Gen Con. On the Community Day, my
Oh, that's right. You have a
the memorial
service.
for my cousin is
The true
from 10:30 to
offense.
2.
The true offense is if you are a listener of this program who has gone so far as to ask me to be your friend in Pokemon Go, and you are proximate enough to me that I can see you are in a raid, not remote, but you are in a raid that I am in, and you don't come over and say hello,
Rude.
that's how you get deleted from my friends list. All right?
I'm more shocked that you were doing raids well.
How I was only doing them because you were standing right next to me, forcing me to do them. It was the Starly, and we were
right.
we got to see if it really extends it.
Oh,
blah, blah.
it did work. The
It did
Starly
work.
stuff worked.
I'm relying on that for for that week, Saturday the 13th. You need to help me make things happen.
I'm still not 100% sure. This could probably be solved with a Google search, possibly. But when we did the Starly raid, because I did make Will and Greg do it with me, we were at Mall of America for Starly Community Day, right? And the thing happened that we thought was going to happen the first time, which was Dino, which I was like, what if Dino Community Day ends and then there's no raids for us to do? And then that literally happened.
And it happened.
And then all the raids were like 30 minutes, and Greg and I were like, we don't want to wait 30 minutes. Like,
I'm
it's
out.
hot out. Like, we're
That
going
was
home.
Pride weekend. I was heading to the park.
And so Starly, when the community day ended, the raids popped with like 5-minute timers, and we were like, great, 5 minutes, cool. We can see the eggs, we can walk to the eggs, we can get ready, and then we did it, and then it worked.
Yeah,
We did the raid, and then all of a sudden there was a bunch of Starlies, and I got like 2 shiny Starlies like immediately after like they popped, and I was like, this is great, this is a great experience. And then I did another one, and this is the part I'm confused. Does it add to it? Because I felt like I had Starlies for like 45 minutes, not like because you're supposed to do it and then it gives you 30 minutes, and then within like 5 minutes of doing it, I did another one. So did that time add together?
I doubt it. I think each one activated its own 30-minute time frame.
Yeah, around that Pokestop.
Because it felt like to me like, oh, this was more than 30 minutes and I'm still seeing Starlies. But also then like, why would you do one so close? Because
You wouldn't.
yeah, but they were spawning till 7. They like when I got home, I saw Staravia raids still, and I was like, oh, if I went down the street and did that Staravia, I'd find more Starly. And I was like, I don't want to leave.
Because if there's anything
Also,
one needs,
how
it's
many
more
Starly do you need?
Exactly.
Right. There was a thought at least. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we have just. Well, look, it's been like we still got question of the week and Pokemon of the week. I got 2 more quick news articles, so we'll be right back.
What's so funny?
We are back from our break. This is off Pokemon.com. Signa Suit May and Blaziken in Pokemon Masters EX.
Bait. They're just
More
baiting
bait.
you.
What was it? Did they show Brendan?
Brendan was released today.
Oh, okay. I was like, sometimes DNA shows me things early, and then I'm like, wait, did you guys announce this yet? Am I allowed to say?
So they had them in the trailer.
Yeah.
So why it's not in here, I don't know, because it was in the trailer. But yeah, Brandon was released in the sync pairs today, but it had been shown in the trailer before.
Yeah. So we still don't know what the 3-year anniversary for Masters is yet.
Nope.
They haven't.
Apart from probably Ash.
Yes, probably Ash. But this is more bait. They were trying to get you to empty out those gems before whatever Signa Suit special seasonal characters they release. I'm sure they'll bring back other characters that people want. This is off Pokemon.com as well. Register to battle in the I Choose Chew online competition. If you're still playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, the upcoming I Choose Chew online competitions, you can register. If you play in one battle, you get at least 50 battle points. You can register now until August 11th. The competition will take place on August 11th and will go to the 14th.
Everything that's weekend. I just pile it up. What's going to be next? Community today, this battle.
The rules here are you got to use a Pikachu, a Raichu, a Pichu, or an Alolan Raichu. Your team can only consist of those. So
you can't have a team of 6?
I believe you can only have a team of 4. I believe it's only those 4 you're allowed to use.
Well, Alolan Raichu doesn't knock out Raichu. It's not an either or. Because then that would be a team of 3. They both have the same Pokedex number.
You would think that Pokemon.com would be more clear, but here we are. According to Sarumi, those are the only 4 Pokemon you're allowed to pick. It is a single battle, not double.
So I'm going to assume that you can have a team of 3.
Is it singles or doubles?
It's single.
Single.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It is single. Team of 3 to 6 Pokemon from level 1 to 100. All Pokemon will be set to 50. Yeah, I don't think. Well, I guess it's their own rules, so you could probably bring both.
Well, also if they say 3 to 6 Pokemon, does that mean I can have 6 Raichu? She's like,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm assuming you would bring Gigantamax Pikachu. Doesn't say you can't Gigantamax. I would assume. I know the reward here sucks. By the way,
Yeah, give me a Gigantamax Pikachu or something.
I
Give me
think
a
the thing
spike-eared
that
Pichu.
I saw on the comments is to the tweet when this was tweeted is a bunch of people being like, "I wish I had a light ball," which there was a point where people didn't get light balls. Like, why isn't the reward just like, here's a Pikachu holding a light ball? Like, yeah, it sucks you didn't have it for the competition, but if you want Pikachu to be competitive, you kind of need to have a light ball on him. As much as I like these like really clever, cutesy, whatever competitions, they really gotta. It doesn't have to be a shiny Pikachu, or it does. It just having like your reward is a Pikachu. Thanks for participating in the Chew competition. Like, put a little ribbon on it. Call it a day. Put it in a friend ball or something. Call it a day. Like, doesn't have to be. Anything is better than 50 battle points at this point.
yeah, especially because that store is going to be closing up in about 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah, and all your battle points are going to be worthless. This is also off Pokemon.com. This is the big news. Pokemon TCG Trick or Trade Booster Bundle.
Oh boy.
Do you get it? Because like booster packs plus boo. I was at Mall of America today. They got a Spirit Halloween going up.
But yeah.
When were you at Mall of America today?
This morning.
Hey, did the raids.
Yeah, I went to go to the raids.
Oh, well, thanks for the invite.
Like, you guys said you didn't want to do it. I literally asked you.
Goodness gracious. You just don't understand how human interaction works in the slightest.
First off, Greg has brunch, and then he goes shopping. I know. I remember.
I mean, I took a lovely walk around Lake Nokomis. It's still nice when you get up and you're going to head out to some raids to say, hey, boys, I'm going to do some raids. Do you want to join me?
Could have eaten
Give us
at
the
Mall of
opportunity to say
America.
no.
I feel like
You are literally the worst. You're the worst.
make an unforgettable impression like I do on
Unfortunate impression.
on the spookiest night of the year, the Pokemon TCG Trick or Trade Booster Bundle, featuring 40 mini packs, each containing 3 cards boasting gorgeous art. The Trick or Trade Booster Bundle contains plenty of goodies and tricks for trick or treaters. Creep it real. This is what it says.
I can't. I want to hang up the call and leave.
Creep it real
The call's coming from inside the house.
I know.
with a surprise that lasts longer than candy by merging the magic of Pokemon with the delight of thrills and chills for Halloween. The Pokemon TCG Trick or Trade Booster Bundle will be available on September 1st at the Pokemon Center and where Pokemon TCG products are sold. So to explain, this article did no job at explaining what you're buying. You are buying 40 booster packs, each booster pack containing 3 cards. So ultimately, these are like the dollar store packs. And that you're supposed to give them out to children for Halloween instead of candy.
Yes.
Which is actually really clever and really cute and really great. But if they're... How much are they going to... Like, candy is already expensive. I would argue Pokemon cards probably more expensive than candy. If it's 40 mini booster packs and this was technically dollar store booster packs, is that not just going to be $40?
They don't tell you what the MSRP is?
They don't.
I mean, it's a great trick, right? Like you think you're
You want
giving
candy? Here's some
kids
cards.
some cards, but then there's going to be a certain percentage of those kids who are like, well, now I can collect Pokemon cards. Give them the first taste for free, and then you've got a customer for life.
I mean, you're going to buy this just to open on stream.
I think a lot of people are just going to buy them because they're going to be like, what's inside these packs?
Is it a special set or is it just special packs, right?
Don't
So
say.
it may
It's a
just
whole-
be
It's just all pumpkaboo.
Pidgeys and Pikachu.
Well, with the dollar store pack. Okay, so for those that maybe don't know how a booster pack works, when you buy a booster pack, you are guaranteed a rare card. Now, there are different levels of rare. There's a non-holo rare. There's a holo rare. There's a reverse holo rare. There's a ultra rare. There's a secret rare. There's an ultra secret rare. There's a full art. Like, there's a bunch of rainbow rare. Like, there's a bunch of rarity. But when you buy a 10-card, $3.99 booster pack, you are guaranteed one rare. Most of them are bad. But when you buy a dollar store pack, you're not guaranteed anything. But the dollar store packs still have rares. They still have secret rares. They still have cards, but it's not guaranteed.
Just less likely that you have, or reduced opportunity to pull a rare.
So I would assume that the booster packs have rares.
This is going on the website.
But do you guys, Greg, you give out candy for Halloween?
There's no kids in our area, and I don't want to deal with them. So we used to have a lot of kids, and we did it for a while, and then the neighborhood got really expensive, and a lot of the kids left. So that it was just like, okay, I don't want a giant bag of candy in my house that I'll just eat.
Yeah.
And there's some coming back, but it's like, now the moment passed. No.
You keep that light
I'm
off.
out.
Is that what they do in Minneapolis? The light on or off?
Yeah, lights are off. Everything's closed. We usually leave.
Also, this is your first year here. Halloween in Minneapolis is actually on Halloween.
Correct.
It's not that Milwaukee malarkey.
It is
Yes,
actually
the Milwaukee
on Halloween.
is like Sunday from noon to like 3 because
No,
you can't have
pre-designated time.
It is Halloween and can start pretty much any time after 5. You're going to get people wandering around.
But so keep the light off.
Yeah, keep the light off. Don't put decorations out. So kind of the unspoken rule is the house needs to have decorations. So like at least a pumpkin out front. And the lights have to be on. That's sort of like the signal that you are accepting.
You're ready for Halloween.
Yeah, although there are a lot of people who just sit on the second floor of the houses in my neighborhood and have built Halloween chutes to shoot candy down to people to avoid actually interaction. There's a lot of candy shoots in my neighborhood right now.
That sounds cool though. I feel like this trick or trade boost. I feel like this is gonna go bad. Like it's just gonna be scalpers buying a bunch. Maybe they don't want to scalp this, but this seems like something.
How much it is really.
I would imagine it would be $39.99.
We need to know if it's a set of new cards or if it's just reprints. That
just
will
gonna
be
be
the key.
reprints.
There's no way it's not reprints.
How
There's
many
no way.
Charizards are in this set?
There's no way it's not reprints.
I mean, they're
Every
all going to
card
be
is
from
a
the
Charizard.
Blazing Saddles set, or whichever one you say is always like the worst possible set.
Blazing Saddles set.
I love Blazing
The Mel
Saddles.
Brooks run of Pokemon community cards.
It's my favorite set.
I like the Young Frankenstein set better.
The 2022, this is the last bit of news here off Pokemon.com. The 2022 World Championship schedule. Doors open 8 a.m. each day starting on Thursday, August 18th. Although doors will open at 8:30 on Sunday, August 21st. TCG and VGC matches will be featured on the main stage on Sunday. Side events will take place all 4 days of Worlds. You can, for TCG, pre-check-in from 5 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday, August 17th. Deadline to submit online deck lists for players for day one is 8 p.m. on Wednesday. On Thursday, the doors will open at 8 a.m. The opening ceremony will be 9 a.m. If it's anything poorly run like DC, most people will miss the opening ceremony because they will still be getting through the security detectors to get inside the venue. There will be matches will start at 9:45 a.m. Oh, also, I suppose we would expect some sort of announcement, Scarlet and Violet wise, during the opening ceremony, but we'll see. The estimated time for finish for juniors and seniors is 7:30 p.m. Estimated time to finish for TCG Masters is 9 p.m. The VGC, same deal, 5 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday. You can pick up your welcome kit. You can check in. You can lock in your team for day 1. 8 p.m. on Wednesday is your deadline for your online teams. There is, let's see here. Nothing for Unite. It says, see this page, Pokemon Go, see this page, Pokemon Tournament DX, see this page. So, Pokemon.com really just featuring VGC and TCG stuff. But, if you're competing, you'll need to be there Wednesday. If you're not competing, and the probably the only thing that is actually important to you if you're not competing is opening ceremony on Thursday at 9 a.m. So I actually think I might miss that because I think my plane gets in at 7 a.m. on Thursday, and then I got to figure out how to get to the hotel.
Well, it's going to take you an hour to get through customs to start with.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to miss it. It's fine. It'll be recorded online somewhere. It'll be okay. I was like, maybe I should get there on Wednesday, and then I went to look to change my flight, and it was like a $2,000 change. And I was like,
yeah. Good luck.
That's fine. I'm okay with coming on Thursday. I'm all right with this. Yeah, that's all the Pokemon news. So that brings us to question of the week.
Question of the week. Doesn't anybody ask us questions anymore?
I thought you were going to do Gravy Swayze.
This is from Brandon from our Slack. Do you think the press cycle for Scarlet and Violet will follow Sword and Shield style of showing off details and Pokemon every couple weeks closer to Legends where they didn't show a lot before release?
I have a feeling it's be much closer to Sword and Shield.
I think after Pokemon Worlds, that's when we're going to start getting the really routine Scarlet Violet press releases.
I mean, I think they didn't show off a lot of Legends. I think they did show off they showed Legend. They showed what Legends was.
Yeah.
There's really nothing more to show.
I don't think there's a ton of new in Legends, really. Like, there were some new Pokemon, but not a ton. Not definitely a lot like what should come in Scarlet and Violet. So I think if you're sort of looking at what they have to show off, there will be more to show for Scarlet and Violet, so it will feel like Sword and Shield.
100%, because Legends, for as limited the multiplayer experience of Pokemon is already, Legends was less.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you going to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, like, a big thing I was worried about with Legends is they didn't really show any trainer battles, and that game has, like, 7 trainer battles. Like, you fight a Togepi like twice, and then you fight a Pikachu, and then if you complete the credits, you can do like one extra battle that is very unfair, but like it exists. In retrospect, I can see how it felt like they didn't show a lot for Legends, but then in retrospect, they pretty much showed entirely what that game was from start to finish. Honestly. There was just, like a handful of like Greg said, there was like a handful of Pokemon they didn't show. But that's like every Pokemon game. I mean, they didn't show that there was like a bag guy that would take all your money. And he existed. This is from our YouTube. I guess this is the part of the episode where if you're watching on YouTube, hello, hi. Feel free to hit the like and the subscribe and leave a comment. Help that algorithm out. This is from Matthew. I wanted to let you guys know I'm a huge fan of the podcast. Thank you for making it. Thank you for always making me look forward to it every week. Recently, I've been watching YouTubers rank Pokemon music from all the main series games into a list, wondering what your guys' favorite legendary/champion music are from the series. Personally, my favorite is the Deoxys from Auras, and my favorite is the Champions music, Cynthia from Diamond and Pearl.
Oh, Cynthia's hard to beat.
So yeah, Cynthia's like my lowest right now because after I had
Well,
to
yeah,
beat
you
Cynthia,
did it forever, and
like
you keep the
800
sound
times
on.
in a row, I'm sick of that song.
I have no answer. I can't even think of
Iris
any
is good.
differentiation.
I thought you were going to say Iris.
I know all the cities in Unova, and that's pretty much the only Pokemon music that I know. And Issaris City is my favorite.
I still can't get over the gym leader music for Galar. That song is really great.
Oh yeah, well with the cheering and everything, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what legendary. I usually have the sound off, so it's hard for me to like pick them out.
Not a champion music, but Mustard. He has 2 songs.
Oh, the Mustard songs are good. Yeah.
I think it's when he rips off his clothes.
Yeah.
This Mustard 2. Mwah.
Business time Mustard.
Love Mustard 2.
Have they not? They've not come out with the Sword and Shield soundtrack yet, have they?
They have not.
What the heck?
They're waiting for that 3rd DLC. They're waiting to add the remaining 180 Pokemon. Beedrill's on the sidelines. He's ready.
Gosh, I'm trying to think of legends. Like, I don't think the Xerneas one was very good. I don't remember it, so it can't be that good.
No, I don't think Xerneas and Yveltal were good at all.
I like Diantha's, but I just like Diantha in general, so. Does Leon have a specific theme?
He does, yeah.
Is it? I would know because we don't have the soundtrack. Let me look it up on YouTube. No. I'm out. No.
We'll do one more question. This is from Robert. If you had to choose one battle gimmick to be permanent in the main series and one to never come back, which would they be?
Mega Evolution is permanent. Gigantamax gone. Give me more Mega Pokemon. Triple battles. I want triple battles. I want rotation battles. Bring them back.
Rotation battles.
I want everything opposite of what Will said.
It's any gimmick?
They said battle gimmick.
Oh, battle gimmick. Ugh.
No one's out here saying they want gems coming back from Gen 5?
No. I mean, I like Gigantamax way better than I like Megas, so I would keep Gigantamax forever.
So Gen 8 is Dynamax. Gen 7 is Z Crystals.
Never.
Gone.
Z Crystals are my choice. Should never come back. Goodbye, Z Crystals.
Gen 6 is Megas. And then Gen 5 was Gems.
No, never Gems.
I would say Gems were better than Z Crystals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting rid of Z Crystals for sure. I don't like Z Crystals.
Gen 4 didn't have a gimmick. Gen 3, I guess you could argue. Well, maybe it did. I can't think. Gen 3, I guess you could argue the gimmick was like weather, but that ended up being permanent.
Yeah, well, double battles was the gimmick in Gen 3.
Yeah. Gen 4 was them just like figuring that out. Like competitive really started in Gen 5.
Right.
I know there was like some people were like, I started my competitive in Gen 4. Yeah, I'm sure you did. But like actual competitive that has been acknowledged by everyone was like Gen 5.
Yeah, I would definitely get rid of the Z Crystals. I would keep Dynamax. Make that permanent.
I would keep Dynamax. I would get rid of Z crystals. Megas are kind of in between.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to really expand megas across the board for me to be on board with this.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, if it becomes permanent,
Right.
give us more Mega Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with Megas is there's like 64 of them, and like only like 8 of them are actually decent. At least with Dynamax, everyone can well, I guess, except for like Zacian and Eternatus and Zamazenta, everyone can Dynamax. Like, would you ever Dynamax Gastrodon? No, probably not. That's not why he's on the team. But I've seen people Dynamax Gastrodon and win because they needed to Dynamax something.
Oh, wait. Are we going to consider Zinnia a champion?
Yes.
Zinnia's battle music is really good. Going back.
I mean, if we're putting Mustard in champion-ish area.
Zinnia's battle music is really good.
Pokemon of the Week.
All right, last week's Pokemon, I have it somewhere, hidden back here on the screen. This very specific punctuation Pokemon, while technically available in the wild in Pokemon Go, was only ever available as part of an event one time, so is very sought after by Pokemon Go enthusiasts.
It's
Chansey.
That's not a punctuation.
It's unknown question mark?
Unknown question
Or,
mark.
I should say unknown?
That's also a way of saying it, yes.
It's a Viper. There's a lot of trivia about.
Yeah, unknown's a huge thing.
What about specifically about unknown question mark?
That, I'm unsure of.
I don't care for the shiny.
It's okay.
All the shuffle icons are good, but I don't care for the shiny. The shiny's just sort of meh. This is blue.
Unknown is currently represented in the trading card game by the most cards of any Pokemon after Pikachu with 90 unique cards.
That don't do anything.
There's an Unknown that like lets you win if you have like 40 cards in your hand or something. Due to the Unknown's letter and shininess both being determined by IVs in Gen 2, which are called DVs as well, Shiny Unknown will either always be I or V in those games. Unknown is the only Pokemon in the Sinnoh Pokedex that is not legendary or mythical, not used by any trainer in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
What?
I think that's like, remember like when you played the Gen 5 games, if you literally battled every trainer in the game, you would have seen every Pokemon.
Right,
so in Sinnoh, if you battle every trainer, you still will not have seen Unknown.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Because you have to go to the cave.
Yes.
Yeah, the ruins of Alph.
In Legends Arceus, Unknown are the only Pokemon that can be found in the wild with no preferred foods.
That's a trivia.
That is a trivia.
Which letter did they use for the shuffle?
There are a number
They're all
of
of them, right?
On the shuffle?
On shuffle,
No, there's only like 6 of them.
CEIN exclamation and question mark are listed here.
I thought they did all of them in Shuffle.
Mm-mm. Interesting.
I don't know if people know this, but in Legends Arceus, when you do Hidden Power, it always picks the super effective move, which is the change to Hidden Power. So if you're fighting Unknown, which I don't know why you would be fighting Unknown unless you were doing that Arceus battle, whatever you send out, they will Hidden Power super effective against you.
All right.
This is ultimately why they did the Dexit, right? Like They can choose never to put unknown in like an actual competitive game, or they can like get around Smeargle, they can get around Deerling, they can get around Inkay. Like they have come up with so many gimmicks that they like cannot keep track of. They're like, just cut, don't put them in. We forgot to put the upside down gimmick in, cut Inkay.
All right, this week's Pokemon. I was going to try to do tell me you don't know Pokemon without telling me you don't know Pokemon, but I find those offensive. This is going to be worse. It's a 7, but that's the sum of the 2 other numbers that make up its national dex number, which are also primes, and its name sounds like the other Pokemon of which it was made in interpretation, and so far, unlike that other Pokemon, it does not have a 3rd evolution, but you also need high friendship to achieve its final evolution. I'd say that makes it a 5.
Okay.
I broke it, Greg.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for making it to the end.
Good news. I don't have to answer this riddle because I won't be here next week.
True.
Greg will be at Gen Con.
Yeah, I'll be at Gen Con. So those of you who are a fan of the show, I will be there. Come say hi. I will have a lot of things to give away that aren't at all related to this show.
Got it. I can give you some stickers if you want.
Sure, why not? I mean, I'm giving away so many wild things. So
I brought a bunch of stickers to give away at GoFest, and then I completely forgot they were in my bag, and then I didn't give any of them away.
I'm upset that I've known Greg for years, have purchased multiple copies of Glitter Hearts, and yet I own no Glitter Hearts dice. Just saying.
You didn't come to the you weren't at the Commander Night when I had them.
Nope.
Remind me. I'll bring them next time. Look, I had brought something for you last Commander Night, and you weren't there.
It's because Greg didn't invite us to Raid Hour this morning.
Don't even. Don't even.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to like, subscribe, hit that comment button, all that stuff. Hey, if you want to follow Greg on Twitter, it is at White Wing, and I'm going to throw a big assumption out there. If you're trying to find him at Gen Con, you could probably tweet at him.
Yeah, the best is to tweet at me. Seriously. Or DM, direct message me. Like, I'll be around. I am on one panel on Friday at noon called Ally 101 from Tabletop Gamers. So if you want to come to the panel, it should be a good panel. I'll be there for a little bit after, but I have to run to an event at 2, but I'll hang out for a little bit, but I will be around all weekend. All 4 days, Thursday through Sunday.
Will's on Twitter at Washing the Sink. I'm on Twitter at Dragging a Lake. And we will be back next week. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
super effective.
Super boo-tacular.
Oh, it's too early for that.